takes us. We are officially up and underway here in the nation's capital. First possession goes to the home team. The Mystics, 4-5 on the season. They're led by these two ladies, Sonia Citron and Kiki Iriafen. Austin, line drive to the cup for two.
And that's a great straight line drive, but what a screen by Manuete. And that's a big part of what Washington wants to do with their spacing, is set those screens to free up the driving lanes.
We talked about their ability to do work in the paint, yes, on the post entry, but on the drive as well. First possession for the Fever. Caitlin loves to shoot left. Second chance opportunity here. Leah Boston, no good. Hauled down by Austin. The Fever describing the Mystics as more methodical when it comes to their offensive approach.
And that's a big part of the patience they want to play that with. You'll continue to monitor and see that through the course of this one. And I think a big part of that for Sydney Johnson is just understanding where they want to get the ball to. And for as much as we talk about the post play, their posts also, though, can handle. They run a lot of dribble handoffs to see them passing and running offense, especially through players like Iriafen and Austin.
The youngest team in the WNBA, average age 23 and a half. Georgia Amore met by multiple bodies, and the Fever defense, it's a focus for them. That's good pressure early.
It has been, and really in New York, they had an excellent first three quarters of that. The aggressiveness, the blitz, the attack, I think that's part of what Stephanie White wants to see out of her players. And that tempo comes from possessions and plays like that. Kelsey Mitchell, we know how tenacious she can be defensively.
So we have another jump ball instead of the forwards. It'll be the guards here. What gives?
Did you ever do jump balls?
Never. You wouldn't want me to do jump balls, Sarah.
I wouldn't want to. That's like a...
Spot up from the corner like you.
Let me just sit outside and shoot.
Let it fly, Kelsey Mitchell. The Fever yet to score on their first couple possessions. And they want to move the basketball a little bit more. And we use the word pace, and you think up and down in transition, but you can have pace in the half court as well.
That's such an important point. That comes from the passing, decision-making, cutting, all of those types of actions.
Here goes Iriafen to Austin. Everybody getting a touch. Citron looking for something. Shot clock winding down. Do they recognize? Iriafen to the deck.
It's just a strong play by Billings to make sure to put a body, stay in front, be physical. You need to do that against the strength of an Iriafen.
Boston trying to get the Fever on the board, and does.
We're going to talk about strength on strength. Kiki Iriafen and Aaliyah Boston, teammates during the unrivaled season. So great familiarity with one another and practicing against each other.
Well, Kiki much prefers playing with Aaliyah Boston. Great entry pass over the top. And a foul on the catch.
And pick and roll plays, we know, is such a pivotal part of what Indiana wants to do. And with a player like Aaliyah Boston, her ability to find those gaps on the floor, she just bodies through Iriafen. You cannot underestimate how strong Boston is. And her ability to have counter moves no matter where and how you're playing her in the paint.
That last foul was the first on Kelsey Mitchell. Austin asking for the basketball. All knotted up at two. Onyenwere. Strong positioning down low.
So again, second straight possession, you're seeing Austin have the ball in a decision-making position here towards the top of the key. This time it's Onyenwere making that cut across, reflex cut, open basketball. They're going to continue pouring it inside in the post, and that's where I think for this Washington team, leading the league in points in the paint, they get it in so many different ways. It's through penetration and drives, it's through post-up, face-ups. But because they have playmakers in their bigs, it changes the dynamic of how spread out they can play.
2 for 2 for Onyenwere. You talked about points in the paint, Sarah. 43.8 per game for the Mystics. Leads the league. Here comes Clark off the Boston screen. You can sense some patience from Indiana. Mitchell elevates just in and out.
And those not drop, that's a great look. And shifting Washington side to side will continue to be important.
Amore looking to find her stride. Remember, she's a rookie out of Kentucky. battling down low. Both teams stay with it. They've got numbers. Caitlin rattles it home.
That was a great decision on the Hezzy. It almost looked, you saw her at the three-point line, wondering if she was going to pull from transition. But with Onion Wede on her hip, continues to go and finish.
Amor now goes inside. All right, this is what Indiana wants to do. Get out in transition. See what they've got. Clark from deep. She wanted that.
Caitlin Clark has not shot with the efficiency you imagine she would anticipate so far this season and from three. So let's start going through early, and it becomes really tough. It's the last time up the floor she drove. So this time Onion Wede a little bit back on her heels, step back, bottoms. And for Caitlin Clark to see things go through early and have a balance, it's going to be important for Indiana that's trying to get their mojo back on both ends of the floor.
Caitlin 2 for 3 from the field so far in this one. Came into tonight shooting 28% from the field in her last 4 games, but she's a rhythm player. She gets it going to the cup. Next one, you talked about the fact, hits it from the outside. Feels good when you see it go through the net.
That's a big part of it. And of course, she understands how to do that, but just keeping the defense on their toes.
And now she feels in control offensively, draws that foul. Let's take a look at our DraftKings player tracker. DraftKings is the #1 sports book for live betting. To get in on the action, download the app and use promo code GLASS when you sign up. That's Onion Wede's first. Saw her with the body there, guarding Clark.
It's a part of it. This time I'm getting a little bit tighter up on her and getting her early, but that's the balance I think we're continuing to find in the league and for all of these teams, how physical they can be and where that line is.
Down to Hines Allen, they sprayed out, that's Billings. Cody McMahon just flies in. One of the 8 rookies on this team. Oh! Elevation by Billings. Illegal contact is called.
Cody McMahon, injured to start the season, and she's been getting more time. She is such a force when she's in transition and has the ability to straight line drive and get downhill. She loves getting to her right. That's a circumstance, too, which is great for Washington. You see this with a lot of different, their ability to rip and run no matter who it is, and be opportunistic on the break. For as much as we talk about their slower pace by the numbers or how they want to be more patient and methodical, they will take their shots and getting in transition if they have those lanes and opportunities.
4 team fouls already for the Fever, 2 for the Mystics. Both these teams bottom of the league when it comes to personal fouls each game. So we may be to the free throw line back and forth. Just get your stories ready, Sarah.
Yeah, we heard Sue talking about that in the pregame. I was like, I didn't even want to address that in Jinx Us here.
Nice cut there by Cunningham. Dantas keeps it in. That's for 3.
A big-time shot for Dantas, who's not necessarily had a lot of time or had a lot of looks, but her ability at the space can be important.
First time we've seen her on the floor in a couple of games. All right, DC, 5-point deficit. How do they respond? Clark brings it down. She's looking. What does she see? Dantas, patient. This is Alethea Flores. Just signed to a standard contract a few days ago, loses it on the handle.
Well, Indiana Fever is starting to flow, and you see everyone's getting in on this. Little back screen here by Caitlin Clark. McMahon's calling it out. They make the switch. Sophie Cunningham drawn in the defense and finding an open 3-point shooter. Again, the ability to get into the second side, rotate the defense. That opens up a lot for how the Fever want to create their looks.
Here comes Cunningham. 10-5, we remain there. Erie event, nice poise.
Rim run. And what a dime by McMahon.
You talk about this being a young team, but you see glimpses of chemistry. Kelsey Mitchell to the cup.
That really seem to play mature beyond their years. They have a great level of poise. and they love learning from one another. You mentioned chemistry. Like, you can see it off the floor, on the floor. And Ashley, it's been just fun to experience what they've been here so far this season.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. And talking to Coach Johnson at shoot-around, I said, how do you approach just such a young group, but also making sure that they play the right way and develop those habits? And he said, first off, he's just so elated with the effort from the group, because maybe the performance is not exactly where we want it to be, but they are so committed to the process, and they talk about togetherness and toughness and just dealing with the reality of how monster this league is, and that you need reps to get to the level that they want to get to. But he could not stop just talking about the chemistry of this group. And guys, I think we saw it just this morning.
So much positivity from Coach Johnson about his group. And one line that I love that he had recently was, we may get beat sometimes, but we never get bullied. Talk about toughness, togetherness.
And I think that speaks to even, you know, in us talking with Sonia, saying we're going to make mistakes, youthful mistakes, mistakes of inexperience. One thing that is a non-negotiable is our effort and just how hard we're going to play. And those are the type of things that I think has been consistent.
Clark from deep. And you've seen that effort so far in this first frame. 5-point basketball game. A little over midway through the first. Clark takes it away. Foot race. She wins.
Those are the difference maker in the fine line for Washington. Cheryl mentioned it. We've heard Cindy Johnson talk about all the live ball turnovers have and can be a killer for this group. It's something that they've got to find ways to clean up.
Betts asking for the basketball. Spin cycle. That's nice.
We got her in single coverage in that position, that deep. Her ability to counter and use her footwork is special.
Here come the Fever. Cut by Clark. And the contact from Flora. Lauren Betts, the most outstanding player in the Final Four a couple months ago.
Just look at that, though, the finesse and the footwork, how light she is on her feet, and where she faces you up. She surveys where a defender is playing her, and at that size, to be able to get to the spot on the floor and shoot over, it's just such a tough matchup.
Big Ten Player of the Year, Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year, a number of accolades coming out of UCLA. Some good minutes for Lauren Betts. Clark in control, the dime down low to Billings, knocked away by Dugalich. Austin. You notice Washington settles, looking for something good. Flores down to Austin, the connection.
Big time ball movement that started with the pick and roll play at the top of the key. Everything from there rotated and shifted the defense.
3-point game, 2:30 to go here in the first. Cunningham, oh, the seal by Boston, that's tough.
You said, I mean, watch how deep a position Aaliyah Boston works to get. She does her work before the catch. She's got that left foot planted underneath the basket, and it allows her the angle, the spacing, not only to embrace the contact to get the finish, but keep someone like Austin off of it.
That's a possession, right, in practice. If you can see my number that big, you better give me the basketball.
And that's where, you know, Aaliyah Boston just keeps getting better and better each and every season. And we've now seen her expand her game to the three-point line. How much does that open up for the pick and roll play?
Onyenwere holds the follow through. 2-point game. Clark under the rim. Collected by Dugalich. You can sense momentum from the Mystics. McMahon, she's had this matchup before. The eyes, where will Caitlin go? Shuffle pass, stays here.
Washington has been moving it, really doing an excellent job in how they varied where they're getting the ball from. Onyenwere knocking down a three-point shot. That's an area that if they can get threes to fall at a solid rate, it just opens up so much for them. Remember, she didn't play in the first meeting when they played at Indiana. And it's not just a pivotal piece offensively, but especially you see how much she's been matched up on Clark.
little veteran presence too.
Yeah, I mean, she's like
26 years old.
She's like
and the oldest player on this team.
When at most
Onyenwere.
teams, she'd be one of the younger players.
Duga Leach, the rookie, going against Boston. That's blocked. Clark navigating, step back. It's good. She hears the crowd too. Just when you feel like you're getting your bearings as the Mystics, Clark drills it from the outside.
Those become the momentum breakers.
But this is where you show your growth as a group, right? How do you respond when the opposing team seems to be getting everything right? Here come the Fever. Ball movement.
A foul on that play, but the tough part is the turnovers because it's allowed them to continue to run out. And these screens for Caitlin Clark, look at where that screen is set by Billings, gives her so much room and area to operate. She covers the entire top of the key. The step back is a banger, and you continue to see that, whether it's Billings, whether it's Boston, they will set those screens so far extended, one, because of her range, and two, it allows her extra room to operate.
That last three put Caitlin in double figures with 10 points. Press play on live Cup games with WNBA League Pass. Stream more live Commissioners Cup games and access more ways to watch than ever. Get League Pass today for $39.99 a year. We're still, of course, in the midst of Commissioners Cup play. $500,000 on the line.
Bag.
Talking about money. Both these teams 1-1 in Commissioners Cup play so far. Delay of game called on the floor. That'll be on Onyenwere. Indiana basketball. Less than a minute to go here in the first. So 2 calls there, delay of game and a foul. Clark with Citron on her, trying to create some space. Oh, that's deep. Too short. And another whistle. That's the second on Caitlin Clark.
And this is where things have been and become an issue for Indiana because of the extreme amount of fouling that they put on teams through the course of this early part of the season. And not only does it affect your availability or being on the floor, thinking about foul situations and circumstance, but also the aggressiveness that you want to play with through the course of the game. Granted, that's only 2, but as a whole for the Fever, an area that they're really looking to try and shore up is that.
Clark will now head to the bench with 2 fouls. She played with 5 fouls a lot of the fourth quarter on Saturday against New York. Onyenwere gets both of them.
And for a player that in offense often targets on the defensive side, that makes it even tougher if you're concerned about picking up more fouls.
Kelsey Mitchell on an island. She can dictate offensively. Left is where she wants to go. Gives it up. Shot clock keeps moving. Cunningham cradles it. Shot clock violation. Solid defensive possession. 3.7 to go here in the first frame. They move it to 4.5.
Such an important possession for Washington. Everyone stayed in front, guarding their yard, doing a good job of really collapsing on the inside of the post, how you're finishing quarters, and having a quick opportunity here. There's still enough time to get it in and take a couple dribbles for a shot.
Citron, the best scorer on this team, still scoreless. Puts it up from deep.